Greetings, freaks and folks, this is Vlad the Lad, and we have yet another champion release. This time around it's Taliyah, the sandboarder.
Hey ho, let's go, this is my violent show. Hey ho, let's go, I give up.
So last time I spoke about the Renekton, I showed you this image right here, which will be all the heroes that are within the Shurima region. And as it turns out, we don't have not only Renekton, Azir, and Nasus, like we saw in the picture. We have the release of Taliyah this time around, and they just released the trailer a few minutes ago, so let's go for another live reaction, because we like reactions.
Point the way, and I'll make the way. Come on, there's so much to see.
Okay, 5 mana 2/4, where we understand it, and the point play, summon an exact copy of an allied landmark. Okay. Level up, you have summoned 5+ landmarks. That's a lot. Okay, let's see on.
They're so sweet when they're sleeping. Hope you get pebbles in your shoe.
Obviously, some landmark synergy there. Whoa, high force.
Taliyah.
Size Scout. We saw that image in the announcement of the Shurima expansion set. It's a 3 mana 2/4. Play predict. We saw this keyword yesterday. I will talk about this in the video later on. If you pick a landmark, grant me elusive. Okay. Okay. It's a bit understated, like 2/4. Normally you want to have more attack on elusives, but yeah, maybe you have some buff cards here and there. It's a good blocker though. For 3 mana, having a 4 life elusive is pretty nice. Yeah, with some landmark synergy, this really shines, obviously.
Do you miss your family? I miss some of them. The others are right here.
See predict animation there. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We have some more cards here. Sharpened Resolve. A burst speed, give an ally +1/+1 this round. If you've summoned a landmark this game, give it +3/+1 instead. What? +3 attack +1 burst speed for 1 mana? Okay. That's a bit too much to me, but yeah, I take it. And we have Stone Weaving, a burst speed 1 mana spell. Look at 3 random landmarks you can afford. Pick 1 to create in hand. Okay. You can afford in the sense of you have the mana for it, I guess. And if you pick one of them to create them in hand. Like, this is weird from the description wise. Look in your deck, or look at the board, or you can afford, yeah, whatever. Obviously now she picks this to get the elusive keyword.
Watch out for quicksand.
Another card, Rolling Sands. A lot of cheap landmarks there, obviously, to synergize with the level up condition to have 5 landmarks played. When an enemy is summoned, destroy me to grant it vulnerable. It's pretty bad. I mean, you kind of lock him in a place where he needs to summon a unit that he doesn't want, or that he wants to die, and he can play units that he wants to live, because they will get the vulnerable keyword granted, right? But for 2 mana, vulnerable is...
Looks like you're stuck. Ha! You fell for it.
Okay.
Together, we are stronger than stone, faster than the
Sweet.
wind.
This is a Baronesha. I love the new animations there. Taliyah 5 mana, 3/5 now, as usual, the +1/+1. And now she, yeah, still the same play effect, and attack, deal 2 to my blocker. If it's dead or gone, deal 2 to the enemy next instead. If you have a landmark, do this 2 more times. Whoa! That's big. That's 6 damage to face. Like, imagine he's blocking with a 1/1. First 2 damage on the 1/1 and then 4 to face. It's sort of an overwhelm effect in that sense. Like, imagine if you give Taliyah the overwhelm keyword on top of that, like a might, for example. This is sort of the OTK stuff that with Lee Sin goes around, where you can like do the special effect that it does, plus the overwhelm after the unit is dead, the overwhelm damage. Pretty neat, but still 5 mana is a lot.
Like threading a
Isn't it?
needle.
Ancient Hourglass, 2 mana fast spell. Obliterate an ally and summon a status statue on its place. Okay. So I feel like this is sort of a mixture between Targon and Shadow Isles, the Shurima region, where they have some sacrifice stuff. And also a lot of buffs and debuffs. Well, debuffs is not Targon-wise, but buffs. Many combat tricks in that sense. Yeah, let's see what a status statue is.
All rocks erode eventually. Tag, you're it. Stand back.
Okay. That's neat.
What a great day.
Okay, but it looked like this the effect only hit it once, right? When we get back to it. Like there were 3 Taliyahs on board, but you only get the effect the 3 times that she does it. Like if you have 1, you already get it 3 times, right? Yeah, it does 2, another 2, another 2.
What a
Because for me it should be like 9 times, right? Because you have 3 Taliyahs leveled up on the board. Yeah, I'm not completely sure about the interaction there, but what is this statue thing?
all rocks erode eventually.
Is it maybe that
Tag, you're it.
did I miss on the text there for Taliyah? Some exact copy of an allied landmark. Maybe that means that then the next, like the statue thing maybe does that the next creature you're summoning is just be duplicated. And that's why she duplicates the landmark, then gets summoned, and then the both landmarks convert into her again. I think that's what happened there. Okay, pretty neat interaction. Let's go over to the cards right here. They now used to release them on Mobalytics. Yeah, Taliyah, we talked about her. Her signature spell is a 1-mana burst speed spell. Stone Weaving. Look at 3 random landmarks you can afford. Pick 1 to create in hand. Ah, yeah, okay, that's the spell that was cast in the video as well. Then we have the pretty overstated 1-mana burst speed combat trick. That's definitely seeing play, I think. Like 3 attack for 1 mana, this is insane. And having a landmark isn't like with all these landmarks running around, you have an easy time having landmark on board. Oh no, it's even summoned this game. Like you don't even need the landmark anymore. This is sick. This is sick. Then we have the Hibernatic Rock Beer, which has a countdown with and summon a Grumpy Rock Beer, which is this one, a 5-mana 5/4 then. So for 2 mana you get, after 3 rounds, you get this dude on. Unless you play the other card where you can put the countdown. Where is it? The Steamed Hierophant. Like if they synergize pretty well together. I know it's only for the Buried Sun. Never mind. Erase that. Yeah, it's unlucky. I thought he's advancing countdowns in general for 2 rounds. Because it would be a neat interaction, like playing this on 2 and playing the other dude on 3, and then you directly get the Grumpy Rock Beer. It is what it is. Yeah, I could see that. Like in the Taliyah decks, you really need the landmarks for level up. Like you need 5 in total. That's a lot. And I guess you want sustainability in that as well, because landmarks in the first place, they do nothing. And this goes for this card as well. Like you play in round 2, you play that, and not before round 5 you will have any use of that 2 mana. Although for 2 mana, 5/4 obviously is pretty well stated there, but yeah. Let's see on here. We have the Desert Naturalist. Play effect, destroy a land. This is, by the way, counterable. Not like this, because it has the circle in it. Play, destroy a landmark if its allied summon a Grumpy Rock Beer. Okay. So you can destroy this one. And my question is, if I destroy my landmark, does it count as counting down, or will it just be destroyed? Because this way you could have double Grumpy Rock Beer on board, right? If you destroy this landmark here. Yeah, could be neat. Then we have the Salt Spire. Count on 2, summon a Grumpy Rock Beer again. Then, if you have summoned 4+ landmarks this game, grant the strongest ally +2/+2. I'm not too sold on this strongest ally thing. Like we saw that in the other landmark. The 4 mana one, the temple, that we saw with coming with Ophelia's. And where you pump up the strongest ally on and on again. And if you don't get the overwhelm keyword on it or the elusive one, it's almost useless sometimes. So paying 4 more mana for this effect, I think you're better running off than this card instead of this. Because for 2 more mana you get +2/+2 for the strongest ally, plus you need to have summoned 4 landmarks this game. So I think it's the way weaker than this one. Then we have another sandboarder, little sandboard guy here, the Rock Hopper. When I'm summoned a Rolling Sands. 2 mana 3/1. It's, yeah, worse stated like the Mountain Goat was at first place. But let's see what the Rolling Sands do. Okay, it's a landmark. That's neat. Like for 2 mana, summoning a landmark is pretty strong. And now it makes sense that this is obviously well or poorly stated for 2 mana, granting somebody vulnerable. And it seems that you can main deck it, right? Yeah. It doesn't have the zone on it, so it only comes off from the Rock Hopper at this point. And now it makes sense that this is a 2 mana landmark, and obviously goes well with the level up condition of her. I still don't know if this effect that she has afterwards is that super strong. I think you need to combine it with Overwhelm, otherwise it can feel clunky or too slow, or both. Okay, let's see on Unraveled Earth. For 3 mana burst speed spell, summon 2 Rolling Sands. Draw 1. Okay, so you at burst speed you can create landmarks. This is also an interaction that we didn't see before, I think. Creating landmarks on burst speed. And it cycles itself, draw 1. And this alone makes me think that it sees play. Definitely in decks with Taliyah. Then we have the Ancient Hourglass that we saw in the video. And it has count on 1, summon an exact copy of the obliterated unit I replaced. Huh. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Like you sort of save the creature in it, so it doesn't duplicate the summoned unit how I thought before. it just resummons the obliterated unit. But obviously it's the same outcome in that moment when you cast the play effect from Taliyah on the status statue. But that's pretty neat. I could see that. Like, imagine this is sort of a saber. Like, imagine they want to kill any creature on your board that's pretty important, or any champion rather, because it says ally and that's not follower. And you can just save them from dying for 2 mana. That's pretty strong. And you're creating a landmark. That's neat. That's really neat. Okay, and then we have the Thread Volley, which is obviously a skill from Taliyah, leveled up. And with Teen Spirit, destroy landmark, if it's allied, summon a Grumpy Rock Beer. I think this is the play effect from the Desert Naturalist. Okay. Interesting, pretty interesting. But at the first glimpse, it looks a bit weak overall, like in this package alone, like if you don't combine it with anything. Because this is poorly statted, this is poorly statted for an elusive, this comes in too late, this is terrible to me, like my first impression. This 4 mana, 2/4. I mean, you get the Grumpy Rock Beer for free there. I give you that, but I mean, you can sacrifice Rolling Sands or something like that, right? Yeah, let's see on the cards from yesterday. I didn't talk about them. I just wanted to release a video when the new champion is up. So let's go over them really quickly. We have the Ancient Preparations, which is yet another 1 mana landmark. And you predict, and predict is like foreseeing what you draw, or rather you have 3 random cards in your deck, I think was the effect, and then you choose one of them and put them on top of your deck. And this is pretty sweet, I gotta say. Like, in a lot of decks where you have key cards, now you have a way easier time to find them. Like, if you're, let's say your deck is built around Twisted Fate, and you really need the Twisted Fate, you have a potential draw 3 chance to draw him then. I mean, you choose one of them, and then he gets on top of the deck, and next draw you draw the card you need. And you have plenty of versions to predict, like the Aspiring Chronomancer, which will also see play, I think, because for 2 mana, 2/3 is already pretty well statted, and you predict as an effect, which is nice. I don't know yet if this card, like together with her, it could see play to progress her level up. But in general, I mean, it's sort of speed, right? You have it 1 mana play, which can be sometimes better than the 1-drop, because you can find your key cards really early, and you get the clockling 2 rounds later. But it's slow in a sense, so you definitely want to have some sustainability when you go for that package, I think. Because, like I said, landmarks are slow in a sense. It's, in the first place, it's paying mana and then having nothing, right? Okay, let's see on. Then we have the Xenotype Researchers, which says, when I'm summoned, grant 3 random allies in your deck +3/+3. The TH is still pretty hard to pronounce. Anyway, 3 mana 3/3, and this is pretty well statted. And then we have the +3/+3, which is a lot. It's granting 3 random allies in your deck. So maybe if you have an deck buffing archetype, and especially together obviously with the predict, it's pretty neat. If you are off to find the upgraded unit, it can be devastating. Like, imagine this with any overwhelmed creatures or elusive creatures. Having her in deck, I think she can find a home, although it's pretty random, I gotta say, in a sense. With a lot of card draw, I could see that. like with Bilgewater, for example, and then the elusive package, and her with buffing all this shit. Good work. Then we have Kari the Student, which is a 3-mana 3/3. And when he is summoned, grant him +1/+1 if you have predicted. So if you played up to now these two cards before. I don't think that he sees any play. Like we have the Badger Beer, 3-mana 3/4, and you never ever play that card. And this has 1 attack more. And I don't think this makes the cut, because it has a condition to it as well. So yeah, maybe for sustainability to have a 4-life blocker at round 3, but other than that, it's bad. As well as this 6-mana 4/4, Kari the Returned, which is fearsome, and when I'm summoned, create a copy of me in your deck. When you see me in a prediction, grant all allied copies of me everywhere +2/+2. Like in the first place, this seems a bit nuts, like granting everywhere and granting this copies of him, like getting super strong. But at round 6, mostly the game is over. In the high competitive scene, where you have that pretty fast-paced decks running around, and you at round 6 you don't want to have a 6/6 with fearsome. Especially this keyword is poorly chosen for this dude, because round 6 it's bad. It's just bad. Like if you combine it together with the Blood Main, okay, and with cards like Rite of Dominance, where you lower the attack, there the fearsome keyword can really shine, obviously, but I don't see it being played. Like, the thing is, you want to play more copies of him, and this means you need to progress after round 6, so round 7, round 8, and then also you need to find him in your deck. Yeah, I'm not too sold on this. Then we have Preservarium, which is, for me, a decent landmark at 2 mana. When I'm summoned, draw 1, and countdown, draw another 1. And I think with another more landmark synergies that we saw up there, this can be pretty neat. Because a 2-mana draw 2 is in Shadow Isles, Glimpse Beyond, and this is absolutely broken and played in every single Shadow Isles deck under the sun, so I definitely expect this to see play. And then we have the 4-mana Promising Future, slow spell. Grant an allied landmark, my countdown completion effect activates twice. So at this point, you can draw 2 here. Let's see the other ones. I mean, this is something you want to duplicate. Like for 2 mana, obliterating a super strong ally, and then playing the Promising Future on it, and the countdown gets counted down directly in the next round, and you get a double copy of it. So it's a 6-mana copy a creature in that sense, or copy an ally. It could be strong. Summoning another Grumpy Rockbeer, 4 mana, like this spell, 4 mana, 5/4, isn't too good, and neither is this effect. Like, I mean, if you want to run this card, which you probably shouldn't, you then get a bit more of it by playing this card, right? But I don't see that it puts in the work. Okay, and that wraps up all the cards we had today and yesterday. We had a lot to talk about, but I think it was worth it. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this champion, to be honest. Like I said, with the overall package, I will definitely try her, and she could have potential. Like, obviously, you need to playtest and everything. You can't predict future, right? But that's it for today. I'm definitely going more with Jarvan and Renekton. They are definitely have more potential being competitive. And that's everything for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next probably reaction video, because my next play or gameplay video will be on the next weekend, because during the week I don't have much time, but for reactions I always have time. So have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Let out.
Come on,